So the question that I'm going to answer today can be really triggering. For some women, it can bring up a lot. The question is, I feel certain my partner is going to stray while I'm pregnant. They've never shown any warning signs, but I'm still terrified it will happen. Should I talk to them about it or should I just ignore the fear? Well, there's bad news and good news about the whole infidelity during pregnancy thing. So, the bad news is in his book, What's Your Pregnant Man Thinking? The psychologist Robert Rodriguez reported that about 10% of men cheat when their partner is pregnant. And then in regards to same-sex female couples, there hasn't been a lot of research done in regards to infidelity during pregnancy, but the research that has been done about same-sex female couples, infidelity just in general, the rates are pretty similar to heterosexual couples. So what's the deal? What's up with the cheating during pregnancy? It always breaks my heart when I hear about it, because when we're pregnant, we're so vulnerable and we so desperately need support. And especially if we have a partner, obviously we want their support. We don't want them to be out screwing around. So, okay, what's the deal? While this is absolutely not an excuse to cheat, two of the big reasons that they found that women or men cheat during pregnancy is that one, their pregnant woman does not want to have sex, they're just not turned on, or they feel so ill that like even the physical act is they just can't do it. Or the man might feel that his emotional needs aren't being met. Anybody that's been pregnant knows that we have a lot on our own plate. It can be hard to deal with, the emotions and the fears of our partner. So those are two of the main reasons that researchers have found that men cheat while their special person is pregnant. And there's also other ways that men can react to pregnancy. Some get so turned on by your pregnant body, they can't get enough of you. For other men, and some believe that this is because of a slight drop in testosterone, their libido lowers, so they don't want to have sex with anybody. And it's believed that this can actually help to prepare them for fatherhood because of that drop in testosterone, they become a bit more maternal. So those are a few different things that can happen to a man or a partner when their special someone is pregnant. Okay, finally to the good news. You are not a statistic. You and your partner are unique individuals with a unique relationship. So it is not a foregone conclusion that your partner is going to cheat when you're pregnant. But there are some things you can do to alleviate your fears, of course we can't 100% know that it'll never happen, but to minimize the chances of this really tragic circumstance playing out in your relationship, the first thing I recommend is talking to your partner, which is really uncomfortable, especially when it's the cheating talk, So when you're sitting down with them, I really encourage you to preface the conversation with like, look, I'm not accusing you of cheating. Blame it on me. Say I was like watching this video and this woman brought it up and she was talking about these scary statistics and now I'm totally freaked out. Again, blame it on me, but make sure that their defenses don't go up by them thinking that, again, you're accusing them. You're just saying like, look, this is just like a personal fear I have and I just want to talk about it. And you can tell them about, the three categories some men fall into and then ask them straight up, do you feel satisfied in our sex life? Do you feel like your emotional needs are being met? Like, get into it. And before you have this conversation, kind of put up what I like to call a trigger shield. Know that you're going into this conversation not to prove that anybody's right or wrong, but to come closer and to nurture your relationship so it stays solid. So if, for example, he says, yeah, well, actually, I feel like, we don't have sex enough. before doing a lot of therapy, if my husband would have said that to me, I would have immediately gotten defensive and been like, well, I'm like tired a lot, or like, you always ask at the wrong time. I would get so defensive versus just saying, okay, I hear that. Like, you're feeling like we're not having enough sex. All right. Or with the emotional needs, maybe he says, I don't feel like you really care what I'm going through or listening to me enough. Again, old me would have been like, you don't have any idea what I'm going through. Like, who cares about your emotional needs? I'm pregnant. I'm freaked out. But again, we also want them to feel supported. So having this conversation, resisting the urge to get defensive, and then making a plan. It's like, all right, maybe your needs aren't being met. What are some ways that we can meet them without you jeopardizing your own needs? If you are violently ill all the time and have horrible all day sickness, and you really don't feel like having sex ever, what are some other things that the two of you can do to be intimate together? Get creative. If this conversation makes you really feel like maybe your partner is cheating, or it's really hard for them to open up, or it's just hard for both of you to have this conversation, consider seeing, a therapist, a counselor. I know that therapists can be super duper expensive. Luckily, there are in many towns, cities, organizations that provide pro bono counseling, or they offer a really generous sliding scale. There are different affordable options out there. But again, especially if you feel like there is infidelity, it can be really helpful to kind of dive into that with the support of a trained professional. I absolutely hope that is not the case for you. But if so, I hope that you get great support. Again, I know that this is a really sticky, complicated topic. There's so much gray area. It's hard to navigate. If you have any questions about anything I've gone over, if you disagree with something, if you've had a different experience, please let me know in the comments below, or of course, email me at the email address below.